basically how to create pages for many, many results. So if we get a lot of results down and we want to look at how many do you think per, just like
10.
Okay. So if we get like a ton of results down and then we just want 10 on the screen at once, and then we want to be able to like kind of swipe to get to the next screen, right? Yeah. So how do we do that, right? So we're going to go on this journey together. So we're just going to call this pagination, even though it's not technically correct. That's fine. It's close enough. And then we're going to put this into class 12. And let's take a look. So to start with, I know that there is a particular type that we want to use for this, a particular a view that we're going to use. But before that, let's get our data set up correctly so that we can actually test this, right? So, oh, and this is all set up with, also set up with Swift data, right? Because I selected Swift data, I had it checked. Whoops. There's way too much stuff here. We don't need all of this. I'm just going to wipe this, and then I'm going to wipe all of this for now. We're going to say body sum view. Okay, spell it right. Okay, like this. And then we'll say text. Stop yelling at us. So to start with, let's just get a bunch of like fake information in here that we might want to display, and then we can do it. So let's say we've got an array of, we're just going to use strings for now, but you know this should work for any value type, whatever we do. So we'll say you know, I don't know, random digits. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a function that will give us an array of random digit strings. So basically just a bunch of different digits. So we're going to have digits here. This is going to be an array of strings like so, and we're going to start it out empty. Then we're going to return digits again so it stops yelling at us. Okay, so now in the meantime, what I can do is I can think through, so I don't know if we actually need to start with an array. We can probably do this all inline. We could create a range from 0 to 9, and then within that range, we can perform a, well, actually, this wouldn't be 0 to 9. This would be how many entries that we want. So this would be like 0 to 100, right? And then we map. And then for each item in here, we will just get a random int. So I think it's int random. Yep, within the range. And here this will be a random int within the range. Well, we don't want a random int, do we? Because we want like I don't know, 10 random characters, right? Is that, can we do it with character dot random? Is that a thing? No. I think there's a way to do this. Random element? No. Okay, we'll just do a random int, that's fine. And we'll just turn it into a string. So we'll do a string int dot random in, and then this will be between like negative 10,000 and 10,000, like that. And it's yelling at me about something, I'm sure, some type thing. Oh, right, okay, because we're not using it, sure, okay. And then we're not using this result, so that's okay, because we're just doing this, and then this, like so. Okay, so here's our random stuff, right? So now, let's create a list with for each, right? And then in here we have our random digits. We will use self as ID because we're a string. And we will say digit in here. And now we're going to just say text digit, and we're going to get a array or a list of 100 things, right? So this is what you want. This is what you're looking to avoid. You don't want that infinite down. You want it to be just here's what it is on this screen, and then we move over, right? Okay. So there is a particular way to do that, and I'm trying to get rid of that. There we go. And let me see if I can find it. I know I think I know the name of the type, but we're going to look it up real quick. So we're going to go for our SwiftUI documentation. Nope, not this. Where is it? This one, Apple Developer Documentation. So within here, it's a form, I believe, of navigation. It might not be actually. Could be not a tab. Is it done with a picker? No. Page. Let's see. Presentation setting page. Oh, it is. It might be done with the tab bar. Tab views. Oh no, this. I think this replaces it. Okay. Here it is. I know you're someone. Oh, maybe it is pages. Yeah, paged scrolling tab view. Your page is display mode to the scroll style, by the style new tab view, or to a view that contains tab views. Use the tab view style. Okay, got it. So a tab view with tabs. All right, cool. So one thing that you might do with something like this is, let's see. So you could do, one thing you might be able to do, like in this list, right, you could create sections every 10, right? I know that's not what you're trying to do, but this is an example for maybe someone else who might want to do it this way, and then we're going to transform this into what you're looking for. So you could do section, right? And then your section, you wouldn't give it a title necessarily, right? It would just be like this. And then you would actually, you wouldn't do it in here. You do it kind of outside, sort of. So let's see. You would basically take your random digits and you'd break it up every 10. What's the best way to do that? Let me think. Let's see. You could create a map where you map inside of it. Seems weird, but possible. Yeah, we could do that. So let's see. Let's try that. So let's go ahead and we will say digit sections equals random digits dot, and then we're going to create a map, and the map is going to digits in. So this is going to transform our array of strings into an array of strings. So we're going to basically return an array of strings, and it's going to be the first 10 strings, and then the second 10 strings, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so I think we actually need to do dot enumerated first. Yeah. So now this is going to be a tuple. So it can be, I think index is the second one. So it'd be digits index. Right, index is an int and digits is an array, is a string. Right, digits, yep, and index is a string. That's not right. Okay. Oh, I messed that up. Enumerated. Here, I can close this, make it a little smaller so we can see. Let me verify this. Yep, enumerated self for, yeah. Oh, the left one is, then why is it saying it's a string when I autocomplete? That's, oh, it's an int. Oh, okay. I played myself. I misread it. I saw what I expected to see, not what was actually there. I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got this. So we know which index we are. Cool. Now we can basically do a thing where, let's see. So we're mapping into, yeah, this is going to be hard to do in a single function. Here, what we can do is we can have our, this is going to be something that we kind of do elsewhere, I think. We're going to create a function to do it. Okay. Sorry, I'm working through it like as I go. This is kind of like what interviewing is like, by the way, for those of you who don't know, right? You get presented a problem that you've not thought about before, and then you have to figure it out in front of people live. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. I love it. I'm just kidding. It's fine. your friends. You're not trying to determine whether or not I get a job and pay for my wife's health care, right? Like, so it's a very different situation. I don't mind this one. Okay, so let's see here. Let's formulate digits or whatever, right? This is going to return a double array of our strings, right? And then what we will do is we will say random, so we're going to figure out how many we need. So it's going to be like, let random digits, nope, let count equals random digits dot count, yep. Except this isn't going to be dot count, it's going to be dot count divided by 10, because that's how many we want to show, right? So count is an int, perfect. So now that's how many arrays there are going to be within our exterior array. So how many sections there will be or how many pages there will be, right? Basically, we're trying to get our data from this form into a form that SwiftUI can very easily paginate, right? So to do that, we need to first know how many pages will there be, right? So that's this number. I think technically it would be something, it's probably like +1, a little off by 1 error, right? But you know, whatever. So now we have this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our result. This is gonna be like what we're gonna return, right? It's like this. So it's an empty array full of other, like, you know, currently with nothing inside of it, right? So it's an empty array with no other arrays inside of it. So now we need to add a bunch. And actually, what we can do is we can do array dot, not array dot, what is it? Array repeating, here we go. So array repeating, right, with a count, okay? So our exterior, right, we're going to have the number of pages, which is 10. Nope, go away, please, bottom thing, thank you. Scroll down, that'll make it better. Okay, so we'll have 10 on the outside, right? Or not 10, sorry. We'll have 10 on the outside. Except, we're gonna have count on the outside, I apologize. This is how many pages there are, right? So then we're gonna be repeating, and then in here, we're gonna make another array repeating, okay? And so now we have each of these, just make them. Okay, so we've got an empty array now in position for each page, right? So we can do result 0, and this will give us the array that will hold the information on page 0, right? And so on and so forth. So now we can go through and we can iterate over random digits. So 4-digit in random digits, and we'll do dot enumerated so that we also have the index, right? And then we can do some fun math things. Oh boy, I love math. So now we can say result at index divided by 10 and index modulo 10. No, because we're not accessing it directly yet, right? So now we're just going to append it. Yeah, we'll just append it. Cool. Okay, so there we go. And now we can return result. You would use the index modulo 10 if if you were trying to modify that particular entry in the second array. But you don't need to do that because you're just building it, right? So here we go. Okay, so now this result is going to be the thing that we need, right? So now we're going to for each over formulate digits, which I don't know. Can we just do that? Does SwiftUI mind that? It doesn't, but I feel like it's going to reuse that every time. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can turn this into a static sort of, or not static, but like a computed property. Instead, right? Can't do it with that let. Okay, cool. There we go. All right. So now, so we'll call this like f formatted digits. There we go. Or paged, paginated digits, right? Cool. So now in paginated digits, we'll go here. We're going to do this in the for each. Okay, cool. And so now within paginated digits, we have a page, right? Now a page is an array of strings, right? So now within here, we can do another page. So let's create a section, right? And we'll call this, and actually, if we, here we go, dot enumerated once again, so that we know the index number, just so that we can, show it in the section title, just, for purposes of illustration, right? And then we can do index, like so. And then here we can for each on page, right? And then we can do id.self, right? And then here, and I realized this is not going to be happy with .self because it's an array. I think that's okay. I think arrays. It's not identifiable, I know. Oh, what would we make the identifier for it? Its index? Yeah, I feel like we'd make the index the identifier. But does it have access to its own index? I don't think so. So what do we do? We just access it. We can't access index out here. It hasn't been defined yet. Apologies, give me a moment here. I have to think through how to make this identifiable so that the for each works correctly. While I do that, I'll finish up the interior here. There's not much to it. This is just going to be like, digit in, and then like this, right? Actually, I don't even need to do that because it's a string. I forgot about that. So digit's a string like that. Okay, so there are arrays. We can make it a tuple of things. That's kind of annoying. Nested array with for eaches. There's got to be a way to do this that's like easy, right? I feel like there should be, but I could just be wrong, of course. Arrays identifiable. We're gonna do another search together. It'll be fun. Identifiable array in Swift. All right, let's see what these people say. Yeah, just make it a struct, of course. Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to be fast because, class ends in 5 minutes. All right, fine, we'll make it a struct. It's annoying. Okay, so we're gonna create a struct. This is gonna be our page struct. This is gonna have the page, items in it. It's going to be identifiable, right? It's going to have a ID, which is a UID, which just gets determined when it gets created. That's fine. And then we can have the array of digits. So this is going to be our array of strings. Cool. All right, so now here, what we will do is instead of returning a double array of strings, we will return an array of pages. And then here our result will, instead of being a repeating array and whatnot, it will instead be an array repeating of page. And it's going to want the digits, so it actually wants us to create them as we go. That's fine. We can just make this empty. And now here as we go, what we can do for each digit that we hit, we can say, what can we do? Here, you know what? We're going to make this empty. We're going to go back, we're going to redo this. We're going to make this empty to start. And then we're going to make this page. So there's a new page in each one. There we go. And now we're going to say .digits.append. So, and what do we fix? Oh, it was a let down here, right? We need to be able to change it. Okay. Cool. Done. All right. So now this paginated digits dot enumerated Oh, but it's because it's dot enumerated, it's not identifiable. Right. Ugh. Annoying. So we could say sequence. Oh, right. We have our UUID now. We don't need index. We're good. Okay, because we're no longer a double nested. Yeah. Okay. So here we can say page.id, right? Because it's identifiable. And we can do this. Right. Okay. So should finish page conform to random access collection. Oh, right. Page dot what is it called? Digits. Yeah, page dot digits. Boom. There we go. There's the solution. We got it. Okay. Nope. Come on. Wait, where'd the error go? Is it there or isn't it? Please, Xcode. I've got 2 minutes here. Can we not? Oh, we can. Oh, we can build. Okay, great. Then preview it. Thank you. Okay, cool. So here we've got our. Okay, so this is the prototype for our pages. We did it with sections. Now let's do it with pages. Okay. So the solution to doing it with pages is very, very similar. What we're going to do is, first, we're going to get rid of this list on the outside because we only want the list to be on the inside, okay? Then we're going to put the list in here, and we're going to do like list like this on this one, right? And then instead of a section, we're going to have a tab. And then here on the outside, we will have a tab view. Now, this looks like it's going to create an issue for us because I don't see a tab down. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's like a huge drop down of like, it's got tons and tons, right? Oh, this is weird. Does this say more up there? Move. What does that say?
More.
More. Where did that come from? Okay, so this is what happens when you try to just give it a bunch of tabs, right, without doing anything else. But then what you can do is you can go to tabs, where is it? Style. I switch, wait. Excuse me. SwiftUI, please. Where are all my styles? Where's all my auto completion? Ugh. Okay. Can I do it out here? Tab style. Okay, whatever. You can do it on an exterior view. That's fine. Doesn't matter. They're probably doing that on purpose. So there's a page style. So a paged scrolling table view with an index display mode. And then you can set the index display mode to always, so that it always shows the index, right? And then it's complaining about this. Build expression has been explicitly marked unavailable. Great. Okay, so what does that mean then? How do we fix that? So if we go to tab view style here, we'll pull up our thing again. So yep, use page or page index display mode to construct this style, right? Okay. Tab views, use the tab view style modifier, right? Yeah. So do we have any examples? Tab navigation, sure. Okay. Page. Come on, I obviously want to search the content, not the navigator, please. Sometimes, modern conveniences just feel so much less convenient, don't you think? Customization. Yeah. Visibility. No. Oh, come on. We don't have anything about pages in here? That's one of the whole, that's a whole way of doing it. Oh, I see. It's a tutorial. That's why. We go to tab view. Maybe this one will do it. Yeah. Here we go. Tab sections. Sure. Horizontal and regular size classes. Okay. Yeah. We're not concerned about that. Customization. Oh, come on. Okay. What about tab? Tab role. Sometimes their documentation frustrates me. All right, let's just look up tab view pages SwiftUI. Yeah, no, theirs doesn't have it. Don't try and show that to me, Google. It's a lie. Okay, tab view style.page. Okay, this is what we want. Tab view. Oh, I see. Okay, got it. So, okay, that's fine. So, you can't use tab within a tab view that is paginated, I guess. Here we go. Now, I don't see the little pips on the bottom, but I don't know if that's like an HDR thing or not, you know? Let me pull it over here and take a look on the screen. Oh, they're there. They're just really, really, really weirdly colored. They're white. White on gray. White on light gray on gray down there. I don't think you guys can see them. I certainly can't. But yes, so you've got your pages here, and they are limited to just these 10 items. And then you can swap between them and click on your items and stuff. Does that is that what you were looking to do?
Also, what is the, when to use the list and when to use the scroll view? Is there any?
Oh, sure. So the scroll view is for if you have kind of fixed content that goes beyond the screen.
Okay.
So if you know what all is going to be there, right? And not completely, right? You can have some sub lists and stuff, but like if you're creating like a detail page, right? That rather than like you have a different row for a bunch of different things that are all tappable and stuff, you can build a detail page with a list. I find it very easy to do so. But if you are not using a list, and you have something that goes off the edge of the screen, if you wrap it in a scroll view, then your user can scroll and see what's beyond without having. A list has a scroll view wrapping around it automatically. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. I'd say any other questions, but I'm sorry I took so long that we've been here 5 minutes late, even though I thought that I was like, hey, we're early, cool. So I'm going to stop the recording now.